Acme Bakery owner Alejandro Ortiz responded quickly and thoughtfully to this week's review. What follows is his response. Every restaurateur that I know, at least those worth knowing, starts with one aim in mind: to make and serve the very best they can. Often these goals, when reconciled with actual business needs, those pesky things guests aren't bothered with, like rents, payroll, and inventory, serve to check a chef's or restaurateur's ego and ambition. The craftiest, the most business-savvy, make it anyway and are able to assail both of these mistresses, those of business and that of product. The boys of Publi fame do a phenomenal job at this. For us, these little labors of love, no matter how humble or how flashy, culminate our life's work thus far. They are often realizations, however complicated, of dreams and aspirations, shortfalls and all. It is ironic then that so much weight is put on reviews conducted by those without any consideration to the realities of business. The business has only but $165,000 of and or any actual practical experience in the field. I, for one, understand and appreciate that balance of power. After all, a journalist's job is to look after, in this case, the consumer. Robert Parker doesn't make wine after all. Miami is not a bakery city. It needs some good ones desperately. At Acme we aim to be that answer, to pave the way, to break the mold, and to change the conversation about great ingredients and real handcrafted bread. From the get-go, we knew that a large part of our mission was education, i.e. communicating to our guests the value of unbleached flours, wild yeast starters, proper stone oven cooking, and the absence of any additives and preservatives. Pastries, absent plastic wrapping or preservatives, the way most of us may know them, will naturally stale. It's a fact of life. No one likes this, and at Acme we go a long way to ensure everything we sell is as fresh as possible. But freshness often gets bought by the case in a powdered form. In my youth I worked in various bakeries, both French and Latin, where powdered sodium benzoate was used liberally to ensure freshness, and various additives and emulsifiers ensured that cakes obtained a fine crumb and retained moisture longer. Without these additions, pastries, via nature, will do what they do. There is no doubt in my mind that my dear friend and colleague, not to mention the ferociously talented pastry chef Yannis Janssens, does all he can to ensure his handcrafted items are as fresh as possible. He is a consummate professional and Lee & Larry's model bakery. Some may see fault the bakery for having a toaster oven to perhaps refreshen things. At Acme we don't and are constantly requested to heat up all kinds of pastries, or for not throwing away all goods at the end of the night, which for cakes is unnecessary since the fat and sugar layer we call frosting was exclusively invented to keep the cake moist and fresh. Not to mention the blanket practice such as this is not cost effective and may be for selling croutons from Sarabits in New York to flour in Boston. Most bakeries sell croutons the way bagel shops sell bagel chips, to not employing a second baker to bake off baguettes in the late afternoon, a bread meant to be eaten the day of, traditionally in the morning when it's at its freshest. Even in Paris, never mind that made from scratch baguettes can take 4 to 6 hours or more to prepare, hence the glut of frozen boxed baguettes that's ubiquitous in Miami. The truth is that there's more to the story. I can tell you that at Acme we will be reevaluating the way we handle and store our pastries in order to ensure that a guest never receives a not fresh pastry, cookie or bread, and plan to make these changes immediately. With the addition of Jessica Moreno as the head of our savory kitchen, we have been able to lighten up the dishes and reintroduce some nuances into our food. We will continue to serve the very best that we can, and if that means discarding, actually we give them away, a handful of pastries at the end of the day because they are not fresh, so be it. We do it daily, however discarding an entire day's production would not even cross Thomas Keller's mind, let alone when on factors in the realities of using premium ingredients, eggs, those of Ocoee, Florida, and butter that cost 2 to 3 times as much as standard eggs, and butter and unbleached flours which are more expensive by the pound than the white, deep-natured stuff. Yes, craft comes at a price, yet we keep our prices competitive and will continue to do so. I think the review does us all in the industry a favor. It allows restaurateurs to respond to feedback by making the proper adjustments and modifications necessary for a successful business. But it is a business, and we hope that in conjunction with fellow bakeries such as Lee & Larry's, that we make a positive impact on the market even when fates have been called 3 months in. Ask our friends Joel and Letitia. Panther Coffee wasn't swamped 3 months in. It's not the nature of an artisan business. At Acme we are busier than ever and continue to address opportunities and making improvements that every turn. We will continue to offer amazing handcrafted breads to Miami and make our Magic City proud. We hope to get busier still, and as we do, knowing that comes with long lines and anxious waits is the aromas of warm butter and sugar wafted in the air. We can afford all those great things like a second baker for late afternoon flutes that are hot and crusty, however counterintuitive for another oven, an absence of croutons maybe not, and more staff to more effectively serve our most valued asset, our guests. Thank you. New Times. We will continue our journey together and every day, better and better. Miami Acme's open for business and we welcome your feedback. Your neighborhood bakery, rate our ingredients, real good.